Yeah. Icy cold, it is so icy cold. Yeah. Mixing the water with cheese is making the money get mold. Yeah. Trying to be like gang, you better go get it involved. Yeah. Deep right 84s on lanes, I love how you think it is folks. We did it, we said it, we spoke. Yeah. We put it out, thought it was smoke. Just 504. This is at home, right down the street from Alamo. Yeah. Parked the days in and taking no days in. Yeah. Don't need a vacation, I need a replacement. Busting the lights out soon as we came in. What are they talking about? What is pertaining? Yeah. Need me a therapist to ask if I'm aging. Is me if you're caving? Why am my demons invading? I live here and they're hesitating. They biting the cadence. Go out their way, it's okay. Just like the jokes in the basement. I gotta get with my face in it. Yeah. Icy cold, it is so icy cold. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another all brand new edition of Chips and Dish here on the All About the Birds and the AAT Sports Network. I am your host, Chip at Chip for the Birds. I decided tonight to go solo because I got some things to get off of my chest. So I'm going to rant, I'm going to rave, I'm going to go on a bunch of tirades. The vein deserves a full screen action, so we're going to go full screen ranting and raving, and then I'll bring on my better half, the missus, who you can kind of see in the background right now, even though she's hiding. She's getting game ready for the weekly pickoff. So we have all these things happening. Adam, what is happening? Good evening to you, sir. I want to point out that it is currently 9:02. The Phillies have exactly 2 hits against the worst team in baseball with Bryce Harper at the plate. So if all things go according to schedule, the Phillies will take the lead within the next couple of minutes, and then they'll hold it. Yes, Jason, I was just referring to that. I know they are down 2-0 to the worst team in baseball. They have exactly 2 hits, and Bryce Harper has a 1-1 count according to my TV screen, and I think he checked that swing. So here we go. Real quick, pay the bills. Let everyone know what is going on. Again, we are the All About the Birds. That is our main headline umbrella show, and we are the AAT Sports Network. So make sure you are following us at AAT Sports _. Sports is what we are all about, and it is all authentic talk. Because unlike the Philadelphia media, more the sports talk radio, we actually get into some real things. I was absolutely disgusted today by the poll that the main sports radio station decided to run today, which was, and I quote, "Who would you rather have as your quarterback, Jalen Hurts or Carson Wentz?" It is week 2 of the NFL season, and they are still living in the past. So if you are looking for authentic Philadelphia sports talk, get away from the media, follow a bunch of great, incredible podcasts. I mean, there's lists all over the place. Drunk on Broad is one of my personal favorites. I mean, you got to follow authentic sports talk because it's not sports talk radio anymore. Don't forget, we are partnering with La Terrain Luxury Watches. Use the code AATBirds at checkout for 10% off. Manscaped.com. Use the code AATBirds for 20% off and free shipping at checkout. Your balls will thank you. 99 Jersey is also partnering with us. AATBirds 20 for a 20% discount at checkout. You can always go to the AATSportsNetwork.com/shop for all of the incredible designs. There's a lot of really good ones happening right now, so make sure you check it out, including, I'm just going to show a couple of these. There you go. AAT, All Authentic Talk, the Kenny G Saxophone, and the Costume Mentality, which, of course, is trademarked by the missus, who will be joining us in a little while to explain costume mentality yet again. Oddsjam.com. You can use the Arbitrage Calculator to not lose money. And Statement Games, a fun free twist on fantasy sports. I went 0 for 3 in fantasy this week, so I apparently need to go back on the Statement Games. We had a whole bunch of comments rolling in. Let's check it out. Yes, that was a joke, that poll. That tweet was absolutely, it was pathetic. It was embarrassing. And yes, Don Conway joining us, one of the hosts of Drunk on Broad. Jason Voorhees, one of the hosts of Sports and Metal. I mean, there's so many great podcasts out there that you are not forced to listen to the same garbage on your radio stations anymore. So make sure, yeah, Adam, exactly. I can't listen to the media crap anymore. You should just listen to us. We got a lot of good things. Yo, Christopher, what is happening? Last week, people said that Jalen was a future All-Pro, and after one bad game, they are ready to bail. Patience. And we are going to get into that a little bit. I'm going to talk about just a couple of other things that happened in the sports world. So the big thing right now, and we're going to go Sixers first. Oh, first off, let's go Flyers because I know Matt's usually watching. Sam Marin is not injured permanently. This is coming from Sam Marin himself. So he will be playing for the Flyers this season. He tweaked his knee a little bit. He doesn't have a devastating amputate the knee injury. I'm not sure who Wade Allison is. I'm assuming that he's a Flyer. Like I said, anyone who knows and watches the show, I'm getting into hockey again. So, hopefully that is, hopefully I'm correct in that. I do watch Hunter Brody. Hunter Brody is a friend of the program. He has been on the All About the Bird shows. He is an exceptional host. He unfortunately is just currently, being bogged down by some of the mainstream media that he has to push. So, we'll go from there. And Adam, we're going to talk about that in a second. But let's talk Sixers just real quick. The news coming out today is that there is a discussion to trade Ben Simmons and Tyrese Maxey for John Wall of the Rockets. Absolutely not. No way. Absolutely not. This would be a terrible trade. Because eliminate the Ben Simmons aspect of it for a second. Yes, I'm going to leave this comment up for a second. Eliminate the Ben Simmons portion of this. A Wall for Maxey trade hurts the Sixers in the long run. Tyrese Maxey is a young, up-and-coming point guard. John Wall is in the last 2, maybe 3 years of his career. Right there, this doesn't make sense. Now you add the Ben Simmons piece. If you are considering trading Ben Simmons for John Wall, then you have grossly underestimated what Ben Simmons' worth actually is. Now, he probably is not going to report to training camp. In fact, the Sixers are expecting that Ben Simmons is not going to report to training camp. And obviously, that infuriates me. But we know flat out that Ben Simmons at this point can't really be a part of this Sixers team in order for the Sixers team to move forward and actually get better. They are stuck being the same team for as long as he remains a part of this team. So yes, a trade of some kind does need to happen. But you also have a former first-round pick, a defensive player of the year candidate every year, a former rookie of the year, and a guy whose ceiling, if he learns how to shoot and if he's willing to stop listening to yes men and actually push himself a little bit, has an exceptionally high ceiling. Ben Simmons does have a future in this league. Now, he needs to be on a team where he is not required to shoot and really not required to score. He can just be a facilitator. I mean, look, Rajon Rondo has made a huge career for himself in this league. A huge career for himself, and he is not the greatest scorer. But once again, as Jason's saying, how bad did this organization botch this whole situation? It was horrible. They absolutely botched the situation. And the problem is right now there is no coming back from this. There is no coming back from this. And Daryl Morey is to blame. Doc Brown is to blame. Not Doc Brown. See, I'm combining the people. Not Doc Brown. Doc is to blame. Brett Brown is to blame. The fan base who continue to blow smoke up his ass is to, I mean, this is a situation that has gotten worse and worse the longer that they have allowed Ben Simmons to remain complacent. So very simply, they do need to trade Ben Simmons. But for John Wall is not the answer. John Wall is on his retirement tour. He is lucky to stay healthy. And at this point, Tyrese Maxey is more valuable to this Sixers organization than Ben Simmons is. Tyrese Maxey should not be traded for anybody. Agree, disagree, but we're moving on because it is September. And the Phillies currently are struggling against the worst team in the league. They just gave up a huge hit to a pitcher. And normally that wouldn't bug me, but it's a pitcher from the American League, which means he's had maybe one at bat his entire career. And he just laced a double off of, that's right, you guessed it, the Philadelphia Phillies bullpen. After Ranger Suarez was only able to go a much shortened amount of innings because his pitch count was so high. And going into tomorrow's game, when is, you guessed it, a bullpen game, you are now relying on your bullpen to close out a game against, say it again, the worst team in the league. There is no reason why the Phillies should not sweep this series and then sweep against the Pirates. By the end of these 7 games, the Phillies should be solidly in first place, with the Braves hoping that the Phillies mess up, because we are playing the bottom feeders, as Jason says. But what has been the MO of this Phillies team the whole season? We play to the level of our opponents, whether that's play up, whether that's play down. In this situation, they are playing down. They are losing to an Orioles team that is horrific. They are a 100-loss team. And you're supposed to tell me that the Philadelphia Phillies are a playoff contender. If they happen to make the playoffs, they will be eliminated in the first round. If they happen to win the wild card, they will lose in 1 game to either the Giants or the Dodgers. So let's go look at the past week. Zach Wheeler, okay start. I mean, he gave up a little bit here and there. Aaron Nola, decent start, but it was against the Mets. And I recall earlier in that day, I did predict that Aaron Nola, on a warm night in September against the Mets, would go 6+ innings. He went 5 2/3 and left them in a position to win, but he lost control over. He petered out, because that's what he does. And he had a bad game prior. Yes, Jason, we have learned this. We have learned the MO of Aaron Nola. What we have discovered are patterns in Philadelphia sports. The patterns in Philadelphia sports. We know the Ben Simmons pattern and what he does to the team around him. We know the Aaron Nola pattern. He will pitch well 1 game, and then 2 to 3 starts, within the next 2 to 3 starts, he will put up an absolute dud. In this situation, it's going to be against the Pirates, with very few games left to play. Now, can the Phillies win the NL East? Absolutely. But that is not saying anything. It's like winning the NFC East. Yes, you did it, and you get to say that you did it. But what does it really mean? It means that somebody has to win it. And you can blame it on the hitting and the base running and the injuries and the pitching. As Adam's saying, they need top-notch starting pitchers and a good bullpen guys. They have the hitting. I think they sporadically have the hitting. I think depending on the night, they have the hitting. But it's not consistent. Because again, right now against the worst team in the league, you have two hits going into the bottom of the 7th inning. So how do you fix it? Look, if you want to play in September, if you want to play in October, you have to have a whole team effort. And Jason is saying, in the comment section here, the job of the manager is to lead the team, and he's blaming Joe Girardi. I agree. I've kind of been on this train for a while now, but he's not going anywhere. Coming off of the short season, coming off of the COVID stuff, coming off of them starting to now be contenders in their division, he's going to get one more season. He's going to get one more season. And what he's saying is that what Joe Girardi did with the Yankees, anyone could have done. Anyone could have done. I would have loved to manage those teams, Jason. But the fact of the matter is that this team isn't ready to compete. Now, there's a different conversation, which is Bryce Harper the MVP? And I think unequivocally the answer is yes. Bryce Harper has had an MVP caliber season. Without his contributions to this team isn't anywhere close to the conversation of, will they make the playoffs? Will they win the wild card? Will they win the division? But that's not enough. One player shouldn't save a manager's job. One player shouldn't cost a manager's job. Aaron Nola needs work. They have got to stop referring to him as an ace like they did on the national broadcast. Because guess what? Aaron Nola is not an ace. They have got to stop talking about JT Realmuto, who is the best catcher in baseball or was the best catcher in baseball. He is not the best catcher in baseball this season. He's not. He's having a down season. You saw tonight on an easy double play ball, on a tailor-made double play ball. And yes, Chris, I agree. Right? The Phillies are garbage right now. You saw on an easy tailor-made ball, Didi Gregorius, who was a good defender coming into this season, having his weight back and not being able to get the ball out of his glove and turn the double play. This Phillies team, with very few exceptions, has regressed. They have gotten worse because of complacency. You know, you see Archie Bradley warming up in the bullpen. Tomorrow, he's going to be expected to throw an entire inning. Depending on what he does tonight, will he be able to? Will Sam Coonrod be able to pitch? Will any of these guys be able to pitch? Jason, I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. That is the million-dollar question, and I am lost as well. This team has more questions than they have answers to. And from here, I don't know which one takes priority. Because do you throw it all in the scrap heap and blow it up? I don't think you do. And they're, honoring Bryson Stott at the game tonight. And that's great. He is a great piece. But it's the same day that you sent Mickey Moniak back down. 3 hits currently. 3 hits against the worst team in baseball. As the best catcher in baseball told me to shut up as he just ripped a little single. Right? Bryson Stott is a great piece. He is the gem of a god-awful minor system. Mickey Moniak was just sent back down. Luke Williams, yeah, he's up there. But what else do you have? What else do you have? And Chris, I agree. We mentioned this at the top of the show. All About the Birds podcast is exceptional. We're a big, big fan of that. And Drunk on Broad are good friends of the show. I have been on their shows multiple times. They've been on my shows. We do a lot of cross collaboration. In fact, I teach in the same building as Don. So he is a very, very good friend of mine. Yeah, Salvador Perez at this point is the best catcher in baseball because it's what have you done lately? It's what have you done lately? Today, Salvador Perez broke Johnny Bench's record. That's some pretty good company. That's some pretty good company. And Adam, I have gone on this for weeks now because every single week I get to complain about a bullpen game. They don't have a 5th starter. And what ends up happening is they then throw Matt Moore in there anyway. So I don't understand why they don't just start Matt Moore. I am not a Matt Moore fan. I do not think he is worth a damn. I think that he was a mistake. I think that Chase Anderson was a mistake. But at this point, he's at least a starting pitcher. Having these guys go out for 1, 2, 3 innings, if that hurts this team. It also hurts you the game before because Ranger Suarez, who had 60 pitches after the 4th inning, is expected to go, you know what? Keep pitching. It also hurts the game tomorrow where you are relying on Zach Wheeler to, you know what? We need you. We absolutely need you to go 7 here. It's handcuffing this team. It's handcuffing this team. And yes, Jason, it is September. And why not bring up Medina? Because you're a game out of first place. It's real simple. You are a game out of first place. That's why. That's why you don't bring him up. Because you don't put an unproven pitcher into a pennant race. Now, we are all sitting around here knowing that it is indeed not a real pennant race because no team that plays like this is going to make it any further than the first round. But that's not how they're selling it. Oh, in the playoffs, you only need 4 starters, so we'll be good. We'll already be set. Well, no, you've already conditioned your team to go again. You've already conditioned your team that every 4 days, this is what we do. It doesn't make sense. It's not good baseball. It's not good managing. It's not good managing of a roster from the GM. It's not good managing of an organization from an ownership. This is a team that will continue to struggle, that will continue to be up and down the whole way, when in reality, they should, at this point, with these 7 games coming up, absolutely sweep all 7 games and be well ahead of the Braves going into those last couple series of the season. It won't happen. We'll be sitting here next week. I'll predict it now. We'll be sitting here next week talking about how they are 1 or 2 games in the lead or behind based on what's going to happen, instead of being 5 to 6 games well ahead of where they should be. And again, as we sit here, as we took the air, we were down 2-0. We are still down 2-0, but now we have runners on because what did the Orioles do? They left their starter, and he's sitting there with 102 pitches, which is the flip side other problem. You don't throw guys that long. And he's already had multiple at-bats, which is something that he's not used to. Yes, Jason, you picked on my show beginning of the year to win the division, and Aaron Nola to be in contention for the Cy Young. He is not. And the Phillies, if they win the division, it's great. They'll be playoff baseball. I don't know if it'll have the Red October feel that it did a couple years ago, because they really, I don't know. And Johnny, who is a very outward Seattle Mariners fan, would love to play in the NL East, because they would be up 7 to 8 games in the division that we currently are in. I think that does it for the baseball talk. I'm so frustrated with all things Phillies at this point. So again, we do this every single Monday night. We're not done. It's time to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Eagles played yesterday against the 49ers. They lost in a weird score, 17-11. So the question is, who is to blame? Taking a sip while we ponder this question. Teacher wait time, friends. Learn your skills. And Jason answered it for me. If you are going to pinpoint a loss on one person, you saw for the first time a rookie coaching effort. Nick Sirianni, who, good on him, he took accountability. He said that his play calling was suspect. He said that he would like certain things back. He said that he would do all these things differently, which is great. But very simply, the Philadelphia Eagles win yesterday if Nick Sirianni does about 6 or 7 things different. Starting with, at this point, it is time to retire Philly. At this point, it is time to retire the Philly special. It was great. It got a Super Bowl. You can't run the Walmart knockoff version of it with Greg Ward. And as soon as that pitch was handed off, as soon as it was pitched, everyone in the stadium knew it was coming. In fact, we were sitting on a couch hundreds of miles away going, call Philly. Call Philly. You know, you can just shout that from right over here.
I don't want to.
Okay, she says, well, she disagrees with that. I'm not sure what she disagrees with, but we're going to find out when we put her on the screen. But the play calling was terrible. Greg Ward literally threw a ball into a trash can. That was the idea of a 4th down play on goal line where they had just had a huge play, a 91-yard reception, a huge play. And you are telling me that the best call that you can make is for Greg Ward to try to force a ball into Jalen Hurts, and instead he physically throws it into a trash can. Now, that's on Nick Sirianni for making that play call. For going for 2 to when they scored the touchdown, going for 2. I was horrifically against that play call. They in no way should have gone for 2. They did. They went for 2 and then kicked the ball away. The 49ers were lined up for an onside kick. They kicked the ball away and they never saw the ball again. If you're going to be aggressive and go for 2, then at that point, you also need to try the onside kick, because you would burn through all your timeouts. They were gone. I mean, a lot of it didn't make sense. They do not have an intermediate game, those games where you're picking across the linebackers. They were either throwing it a yard or 2 from the line or 20 to 30 yards downfield. And Jalen Hurts was forcing the ball to Devontae Smith, throwing into double coverage, throwing the deep ball. Not having a power running back is an abomination. And you can't say that Jordan Howard is the power running back. There is just not a power running back. Bashing Kenny Gainwell and Miles Sanders full speed into the line over and over again does not do the trick. It does not do the trick. And it didn't work yesterday, right? Combined, they barely rushed for anything. You had Jalen Hurts as your leading rusher. They had 3 catches, so you eliminated the screen game and the short passes. This group did not do a good job. They didn't pitch it out. They didn't spread it, even though both of those guys are insanely fast. This team is built for speed. You got to get them out on the edge. The defensive line for the San Francisco 49ers is one of their strong points. So you run away from them. You pass over top of their heads into an absolutely decimated San Francisco secondary. Instead, you ran the ball into Joey Bosa over and over again. You want to keep assigning blame? Let's keep assigning blame. Jalen Hurts was not good yesterday. If you subtract his 91-yard pass completion, if you subtract that, he was mediocre at his very best. If you remove the 91-yard reception from Quez Watkins, the wide receiving core had 5 catches for 47 yards. He threw under 50%. There were no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was the team's leading rusher, which was great. But everything was underthrown. And you can say that it was arm strength. You can say that it was footwork. You can say that it was arm exhaustion because as the game went on, the throws were worse. But even in the first quarter, the throws were under. It wasn't good. And during the preseason, Nick Sirianni said, we got to fix his footwork. We got to get the footwork where it needs to be. It wasn't there yesterday, right? And I do agree. Losing Brandon Graham is going to hurt us. Brandon Brooks is going to hurt us as well because Landon Dickerson was terrible yesterday. Okay, let's keep going, right? Oh, well, he's a rookie and he's going against this great defensive line and, you got to cut him some slack. He's a professional and he played at Alabama. He's been a professional for his 4 seasons. He's coming off of a knee injury. Okay, then he shouldn't be on the field if he's going to get pushed back that far. The play that they completed to Quez Watkins, I want you to go back. I want you to go back to the deep throw to Quez Watkins. And I want you, instead of focusing on all of the excitement, I want you to focus in on the right guard position. Landon Dickerson got beat. He got pushed directly into Jalen Hurts. The fact that Jalen Hurts got the throw off coming from that right side was very, very impressive. That is where Jalen Hurts had a great play. But Landon Dickerson, who's now going to have to start because of the pec injury to Brandon Brooks, he's got to get better real quick. Now, he's not going to be going against a Joey Bosa type defensive line every week, so that's a positive. But these guys aren't schlubs in the NFL. You got to get better. You got to get better quick. Right? You can't forget all these wide receivers are young. Look, the wide receivers played bad. There was no separation, and you got beat by guys who were good a decade ago. Your Josh Normans were good in the 2010s. It's 2020 now. He hasn't been good for a while. The tight ends, 3 for 30. Not good enough. 3 for 30 is not good enough. And now with Zach Ertz going to the COVID list, now even more pressure is going to be put on Dallas Goedert and Jack Stoll and his Richard Rodgers, healthy and going to come. Like this team, the offensive game plan yesterday should have been get the ball to the tight ends in space, get the ball to the running backs in space, get the ball on quick slants to these quick guys and let them make moves. The game plan should not have been run the ball directly into the line. And do not throw the ball 30 yards downfield multiple times into double coverage. You started to see where Jalen Hurts' safety net is. Where's Devontae Smith? I'm just going to throw him the ball and let him make a play. Devontae Smith yesterday, he played like a rookie. In fact, he cost me a fantasy win. He cost me a fantasy. I was 0 for 3 in fantasy this week. I think the offensive line played okay. Mailata played really well against Bosa. Kelsey did not have a great game. Dickerson played terrible. Lane Johnson got better. They got it. That group's got to get better. The defensive line, Javon Hargrave and Fletcher Cox had really good games. Josh Sweat was a non-factor considering he just signed a huge extension. And Derek Barnett, who now needs to play more because of the Brandon Graham injury, had better get his crap together real quick and stop committing stupid penalties because yesterday, his stupid penalty cost us the game, and then Kayvon Wallace's penalty continued to cost us the game. It was very poorly executed defense at that point. Again, in the NFL, if you hold a team to 17 points, you're supposed to win the game. So the defense as a whole, and I agree, Jason, I've been very impressed with the defense. Right now, Darius Slay is one of the highest ranked corners in the NFL. At this point, you have a team that has shut down really good tight ends for 2 straight weeks. Talk about the linebacking core. Talk about the fact that Kyle Pitts was shut down a week ago, and George Kittle had 4 catches for 17 yards after absolutely crushing us the week before. So the linebackers are getting better, but the dumb penalties, yesterday, for as good as this team was in week 1 against a really bad team, they looked good yesterday, but eventually they stopped competing. And there were so many big moments that happened that didn't break the Eagles' way, that the emotional strength to push past it, the 49ers had it. That's because they are a playoff contender. You saw a 4-win roster yesterday, remembering why they were a 4-win team. Are we not starting Kerrigan instead of Barnett? Kerrigan was only brought in to be a Chris Long type player. He's supposed to come in on those third down plays and get pressure. He's supposed to have very few snaps. Josh Sweat, who just signed a big extension, he's supposed to get a lot of snaps. And yes, Kerrigan did outsnap Barnett yesterday, which I thought was very telling and maybe telling of the future. Maybe Kerrigan does start getting more snaps because of the injury to Barnett. The special teams, there's nothing happening outside of Aaron Sipos, who is very quickly becoming my favorite punter in the NFL. He bombs the ball. But besides that, they don't cover well. There was the ball that bounced and bounced. It could have been pinned on the one. Instead, it was a touchback. You had a block field goal. You have nothing happening with Quez Watkins returning kicks. You have nothing happening with Jalen Reagor returning kicks. I mean, it's still a 4-win team. Remember what we all said at the beginning of the season. The expectation is they get better week 1 to the end of the year. That has not happened yet. They definitely got worse from week 1 to week 2. But you have a tough Dallas game coming up this week. It's Monday Night Football. It's prime time. It's at Dallas. We actually will not be at the West End this week. Just real quick, we will not be at the West End this week. They have a private event. We are going to make up for it with one home game. So we'll tell you that once we settle that. But yeah, I mean, moving forward, the Eagles have a lot of work to do. Again, I appreciate Nick Sirianni saying, I was bad today. I appreciate all the guys saying, look, 24-hour mentality, and then we're getting right back to it. I appreciate those things. But right now, those are just words. The question is, what happens from here? Do they actually do the things that they are saying? Because if they don't, then it's a lot of lip service again. It's a lot of lip service again, and we have to get better here. We got to do a better job. We got to do a better job. Jason thinks they're going to get things cleaned up, and I do too. But again, the expectation isn't that they win any playoff games this year. The expectation is that they are competitive and they develop players. Real quick, 30 seconds or less. I know we don't actively talk about this gentleman anymore, but can we just real quick talk about the fact that somehow Carson Wentz managed to sprain both of his ankles? Sprained both of his ankles. Carson Wentz. There, we did it. Not one, but 2. He sprained both of his ankles. There is a great page on Twitter called Wentz Snaps, which is a tracker. I'll actually show everybody this because this made me giggle. If you are not following this, you should. Right. Wentz snaps his ankles. Thank you. That's a great comment by her. She's about to join. So this is the Wentz snap count. It is the official count of how long, the status of like you can say week 1, he had 100% of the snaps. Week 2, he had 92% of the snaps. So for the season, he's at 96% of the snaps. He's at 12% of the expected Colts snaps. So this updates weekly. There are all of 2 snaps. It did the week 1 and then the week 2. So This is a fun page to follow. It's at Wentz Snaps. And as everyone is giggling, at Wentz Snaps his ankles. There, I have said his name multiple times. Now I'm done saying it. Let's talk about something that I'm excited for. Ladies and gentlemen, I won this week. And for those of you who don't know what that means, every single week we do the weekly pickoff. Yep, exactly. Tila time, and here come the eye rolls. I'm not sure if that's at her, for herself. I'm just going to take a quick victory sip.
It's at you. You're bullshit.
And on that lovely note coming from over there, the weekly pickoff. So for those of you that are joining, and you know what, just for fun, we're going to say the weekly pickoff is sponsored and brought to you by Manscaped. Your balls and your wife will thank you. There. The weekly, that's a kind of weird flex there. So the week 2 picks are officially in. Going into the game, which is happening right now, which I'm not sure what the score is. Hold on. Currently, what's happening here? Can I get a score?
The Lions.
I know what the game is. Does anyone have, if you put in the comments section what the score currently is? The Lions and the Packers. I have the Packers winning. The wife has the Lions winning. Currently, it is 17-14 Lions at halftime. So maybe these Lions are for real.
They're not lying.
They're not lying. I really am starting to dislike. Would you get in the picture frame, please? Jason's excited for this. He wants to know what's the up to the minute record. I'm so glad you asked. That is included.
It's bullshit.
That is included in today's discussion. So let's zoom out a little bit. Here she comes. I, of course, will offer up the chair.
Oh, thank you.
Even though, you know, it should be the winner's throne.
You won at life. Get over it.
I did win at life. So here we go. We're going to add to the stream here.
Okay.
We're going to go here. Yes, thank you, Adam. Oh, wrong one. I need to do this one. So as you can see, going into Monday night, I am 19-12 for the season. The wife is 18-13 for the season.
But if I win tonight, doesn't that count towards that and we're even?
We would be tied, yes. We would be tied. Thanks, Jason. That was a beautiful picture of us. This week, so far, I am at 10-5. So I had a very good week of predictions. The wife is at 7-8.
Mm-hmm.
She did not have a good week of predictions.
I mean, it's like a little less than 50%.
Right. So it's about Jalen Hurts' completion percentage. Okay, then. So let's get.
Stop getting down on him.
You know what? Okay. Do you have any thoughts about anything that I've said? Here, you have the platform for a little bit. Let's. Here you go.
I have so many thoughts.
There you go.
About
Share some thoughts. I'm going to take some victory sips. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I thought I don't bet against the Eagles, so I will take that 7-8 because I just refuse.
Well, we both picked the Eagles.
I don't care.
Oh, okay.
The point is that when it comes to this, you knew that this was going to happen. They were going to come out strong, and eventually they were going to crap out, right?
Sure.
So I'm happy that it happened in week 2. It really sucks about Brandon Graham, though. I mean, but he's going to be really good on the sidelines to cheer the guys on and help them. And I actually think that that's really good motivation for them. It's a huge bummer. I'm really upset. But I think that for Sirianni, I like how and I know every coach does this where they come out and they're like, oh, it's on me. But something about him and the way that he speaks, I actually feel like he
actually feels that way?
Yes, he believes that he feels that way. And I just popping a little bit forward, I don't think they're going to make that mistake again, or that he's going to make that mistake again, because it does fall on him. He is the leader no matter what. And hold on.
I agree, Jason. He is genuine.
Just real quick, I would like to say that even though you won, he made a shit comment about Jalen Hurts.
What'd I say?
About his throwing. And about 5 seconds later, he threw a fucking bomb. And I was so proud to see that, because it means that he is capable of all of those things. And I am really excited.
He is capable of the things. Sorry, I was with Baja Man. I had to let the dogs out. He is capable of those. Come on, you knew that was funny. That was funny. She's going to laugh later. He is capable when he sets his feet. I think for Jalen Hurts, it comes down to the footwork. When he goes through the right progressions, when he goes through the right motions, he actually has arm strength. The problem is he doesn't always do that. And he starts to short arm the ball and everything comes up short. And that is when we get ourselves in trouble.
Did I miss something about Ertz going on the COVID list?
Ertz did go on the COVID list.
Cool.
Right.
Cool.
That's what he caught.
Well, Wentz, I can't. I have so many things to say about so many things. I don't even know if they have to do with football, but we're going to talk.
Well, go ahead. Talk about some things, and then we'll go to the picks.
No, we're going to talk about this.
All right, so here we go. We're going to go to the picks. So, again, I am winning. I've definitely won this week. It's a question of moving forward. Are we tied, or are we or am I ahead by 1, by 2?
We're going to find out.
So, away we go. This week's picks. And again, in the comment section, if there is a different, so because I decided to not bring a guest on tonight, you get to play judge, jury, and executioner up in here.
Well, Adam's going to disagree with everything
Adam's going to disagree with everything you say. Jason's just going to appreciate our love from the comment section.
I love Jason.
So if we come across a disagreement, that's what you have to go with.
Yeah.
So game 1, Thursday night, weak-ass game, Panthers and Texans. I have the Panthers winning. So does the misses. You can actually see it. Panthers and Panthers. I said the Texans' only shot to win was with Tyrod Taylor, and he is out. And they're still not playing Deshaun Watson because he's not going to be a part of this team anymore. Short week of prep, Panthers team that's scoring well. This is an easy pick. The wife has obviously very similar reasons.
Yeah. So I really like, is it the weatherman? Is that what it's called? What is it called? Anchorman, not the weatherman. Anchorman. I was in a whole different world when I was writing this. But if it's good enough for Paul Rudd, it's good enough for me. So I'm going with the Sex Panthers this week. The
Sex Panthers. Okay. And Adam agrees with you.
See, there we go.
I'm going to be honest, though. Adam agreed with me and not so much you. All right. So we're so far on the same page.
Shit. Yeah.
Chargers and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got to cut these comments off. Chargers and Chiefs. I have the Chiefs because the Chiefs lost a game last night that they should not have lost. That was one of the just most weird endings for a Chiefs game I've ever seen. And you know that after a loss, Andy Reid does well.
Yes, that's true.
Historically, he doesn't lose 2 in a row.
Mm-mm.
So this was a game based on vengeance. And the Chargers, look, they're an okay team, but they're not going to beat the Chiefs. The wife has also said the Chiefs.
Yes, because, you know.
All the reasons I said, right?
I guess. I don't even know what I wrote here.
You said, I feel like I was punished for going against Andy, so I'm not making that mistake again when they play against a team who hasn't been able to eke out of the teens.
Oh, for their either last 2 games. So I actually was serious about this. They, I think, scored 16 and 17 points respectively for their last 2 games. So I don't foresee them beating the Chiefs at all.
Adam, give me some sort of heads up. It says that we froze. Did we freeze? Can you see us? I don't think we froze.
We did freeze.
Oh, we did freeze. Oh, dear. No, we're good.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Hi, we're back. So we both agreed on the Chiefs. Herbert versus Mahomes should be a nice touch. I mean, that could be a good game. I think we all agree, though, it will be the Chiefs.
Yes.
Cardinals and Jags. Cardinals for both of us. I said the Cardinals look really good this season. The Jaguars, they don't. I think that Kyler Murray has a career game against a really bad Jacksonville team. And the wife says...
Okay. I feel like now that I know that the Cardinals are a football team, they're going to do really great. Is this the team? Is this the guy?
Yes, this is the guy. All right, hold on. Wait. I think that we have to go. We got to go full screen.
Okay, listen. Here's the deal. I want to punch him in the face.
Trevor Lawrence.
That guy. He looks like Pete and Pete from the Nickelodeon show Pete and Pete. You know, I hate his face so much. It's looks disgusting.
He looks like the ugly brother of the Beast before he turned into the Beast.
Don't insult Disney that way when I'm talking about this little piece of shit over here. I have hated him since college. Just his dumb face on his dumb body. And I hope they lose so hard. So
what I'm hearing is you're not going to pick the Jaguars much this season.
No, I don't foresee that.
No.
I mean, Jaguars are cute, but like he's not.
And yes, Mike, we know that you picked the Cardinals to be pretty good this year. So did Jeremy Bridges, by the way. Plug to his show tomorrow night, Burning Bridges at 10:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, the beast before the beast. He's the beast before the beast.
Okay, but
brother.
wait. Have you ever seen A Christmas Story, and there are those two asshole kids, and the one has like that raccoon hat on? That's who he looks like.
So he looks like
a piece of shit.
He looks like the Super Mario Brothers when he has a little like Davy Crockett hat.
Why do you have to continuously try to outdo me? Can't we just call him Pete and Pete and move on? Because fuck that guy.
I don't think half these guys know who Pete and Pete is.
Yes, they do.
Look at the collective age of the commenters.
They know.
They know. All right, we have our first difference here. So comment section, get ready because you guys and gals are up. The Bears, and the Browns. I have the Browns because Andy Dalton may or may not play. Now, that could actually help the Bears if he doesn't play. But there's already questions at quarterback for Chicago. The Browns have showed grit and determination. The Cleveland is at home. It's a low-scoring game. I don't think it's a very high-scoring game, but I do think that the Browns win this game.
And I don't.
And you don't.
I don't. Okay.
For a great reason. Go ahead.
Bears are so freaking cute, first of all. Second of all, when I was like 2 years old, there was this movie called The Great Outdoors with Dan Aykroyd. And back in the day, I thought it was the scariest movie I've ever seen in my entire life because there was this big, huge, enormous bear. But it's amazing. And I just don't feel like the Browns can compete with that kind of history.
A Dan Aykroyd movie.
And John Candy.
John Candy.
Yes. Who in this movie is from Chicago.
Adam says Bears with the upset. He has agreed with you.
See? Kiss my butt. Shut up. He's going to say gladly.
That's a show that we won't be putting on the air. But Jason agrees with basically everything I said. Browns win this one, low scoring.
I do think it's going to be a low scoring game though.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's just, especially with injuries to both quarterbacks. I mean, you're going to struggle there. Yeah,
I totally know all about the injuries.
And the Dan Aykroyd movie. Sure. Cool.
It's a solid pick.
Yeah. All right. We have, so again, I love the comments rolling in. We got some differing opinions. Another one that people differ on here. Washington versus the Bills. I have the Bills. Taylor Heineke beat an NFC East team. Cool. The Bills are not an NFC East team. This one's going to get ugly quickly. I predict that Josh Allen's going to throw at least 4 touchdowns, which is going to kill me in fantasy because I have Washington as my defense.
Okay. For me, I'm going with Washington.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping that Rio is going to redeem himself for me because the last time I picked them, they lost, and I did it specifically for him. But Buffalo Bills from Silence of the Lambs, he creeps me out, and I can't root for a team that is named after a skin suit killer over a team with no name. Additionally, is this that team with that guy? Yeah, let's talk about this.
No, the Bills, yeah.
Is it the quarterback?
No, it's a wide receiver. So Tila is not a fan of a guy named Cole Beasley.
Yes.
And his vaccination thoughts.
I find it to be a weird hill to die on, literally, to like to specifically go out of your way to buy tickets for unvaccinated fans at other places. Like, there are so many other things that you could do with your time and put your money towards that. Like, this seems like a weird flex. Mm-hmm. So fuck that dude. Between two people today, I already don't like them. So I hope they lose because that is dumb fuckery. And I said that they reminded me of dysentery before. And I officially stick with that.
So you've now mentioned Silence of the Lambs, dysentery, and fuck 2 different dudes.
But of course, and The Great Outdoors, which I really feel like.
Mike, I agree. If he wants to throw money away, my wallet is more than open. Absolutely.
For sure. But you know what? That can go to like, I don't know, other things. Fund your whatever projects.
Adam says Washington. So he's in an agreement mood.
See, you're going to lose tonight. This week because Adam agrees with me.
Because 2 weeks ago he disagreed with you and I won?
Yeah.
So this time he's agreeing with you?
So I'm going to win.
No, 2 weeks ago he disagreed with you.
Can we just
I'm just going to keep being right. It's cool. Moving on. We got from whence it came, the Titans and the Colts.
Yes.
The Titans are winning this game because part of the issue with having Carson Wentz on your team is you're not allowed to have a good backup quarterback. But then the problem is once he gets hurt, which happens consistently, no one's there to play quarterback.
Right.
So Jacob Eason is not beating the Tennessee Titans. I wrote, Wentz already hurt. Color me shocked. That Titans will smack Indy around all day.
Yeah, and I totally feel that way as well, except for a different reason. Would you like to read that one for me?
Sure. Also, it says Titans can't stop Derrick Henry. Adam, I'm assuming you mean that the Colts can't stop Derrick Henry because if the Titans do it, they're tackling their own teammate. Tila has picked the Titans because the Titans gave us Cronus, which gave us Zeus, which gave us Hercules, and I think they are going to go the distance.
Yeah.
So
basically, I love Disney. And
word.
Fun fact for all the get out, Adam. Fun fact for all the watchers out there. Once upon a time, this man sang Go the Distance from Hercules for like a senior.
It was my senior song, yeah. So back in 2005.
He does have a lovely, lovely singing voice, actually, in real life.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
But yeah, so far, if you're keeping score, I really feel like there's movies and songs and things that people need to pay attention to. This is pop culture.
This is pop culture 101. So we have both agreed on the Titans.
By the way, another fun fact: the guy that sings for "Go the Distance" for Hercules is also the same guy that sings for Aladdin. So go ahead. Okay.
Saints and Patriots. I have the Saints. I said they have identical records, but they have very weird ways of getting there, where the Saints absolutely blew out a Packers team and then got themselves smacked around because all their coaches were out with COVID.
Yep, that happened.
The Patriots beat the Jets. This is going to be a bad game because Jameis Winston's a bad quarterback, and it's going to be close. I have the Saints winning this game, though, because the Patriots are just not the same team. You have also picked the Saints because
Bill Belichick needs Jesus.
I don't think he plays quarterback.
He's with the Saints. He's getting it.
Okay. So there we go. I get your joke. The Falcons and the Giants. The Giants.
You're sleeping on the couch.
I picked the Giants because we beat the Falcons handily. The Giants scored a ton of points against a really good Washington defense. The Giants are scoring quickly. Falcons defense is suspect. It's a high-scoring game that the Giants win. You pick the Falcons.
They're a giant pile of crap.
Because the Giants are a giant pile of
crap.
Yeah,
no. I don't see that happening.
So we differ here.
We do differ here.
Jason agrees with me.
I understand that we beat the Falcons.
Adam agrees with me.
That's great. But I don't know. I just have a feeling that the Falcons are going to win and that the Giants are going to giant.
Yeah, the Giants do giant. They find giant ways to lose every week.
2 weeks in a row now.
Bengals and Steelers. The Steelers defense is why this game goes their way. Cincinnati did not deal with their offensive line issues, and that pass rush will be too much for Joe Burrows. Now, if TJ Watt doesn't play, that could change things, but I still think the Steelers win this game. So does Jason. The wife thinks the Bengals. The wife picked the Bengals.
I did because I feel like if TJ Watt needs around-the-clock care, I am available for that help. So without him, I see no reason for them to win because, again, Ben Roethlisberger, that dude is real tool. So I'm just speaking for women,
so
by the way.
So for those of you keeping track, Tila does not approve of Trevor Lawrence's face.
Hate his face.
Cole Beasley's vaccination thoughts.
No, listen, anybody can have any thought on that altogether. Do what you got to do. It's where he's directing his energy is weird.
Bryce Harper just hit a ball 400 feet instead of 401.
Okay. And Roethlisberger, he's like always sweaty. He's like always, he really looks like I don't know, like he's got a clogged heart. I'm not here for him.
Yeah, well.
It's the raping for me, really, though, but it's also the sweatiness.
Sure.
Yeah.
From the raping?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
For me, it's the fact that they've refused to establish a run game, and Ben Roethlisberger's arm is going to fall off.
And technically, I don't think that they ever proved it, so I really can't say that.
Right. All right, Ravens and Lions. Again, another disagreement here. I have the Ravens. She has the Lions. I said the Ravens stole a game from Kansas City. They shouldn't need that much effort to beat a Lions team that's yet to figure it out yet. Now, again, please remember that we wrote these before the Monday night game, so we're watching a Lions team actually play decently.
Correct. I just want to side mention that you are really bothered by this Ravens Kansas City Chiefs game.
I am, because
you have mentioned it.
The Chiefs are
so
a better
times.
team. I don't think that Lamar Jackson is a good quarterback. I think he's a great player, but he's not a good quarterback.
Okay, well, that's not what happened. So, okay, here's the thing, guys. I have really gone off of this Lions thing because it's Disney night here on Chips and Dish.
Apparently it's Disney night.
I love Lions are adorable. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas played the voice of Simba, and I had a huge crush on him as a kid. So it only seems fair that the Lions win over the Ravens.
So it's not Halloween anymore? You don't feel like getting spooky?
I mean, I like getting spooky, but I like Jonathan Taylor Thomas more.
Okay.
Shout out to him.
Sure, because he watches this show.
Absolutely. Totally does.
So if any of you have a contact with Jonathan Taylor Thomas and would you like to make sure that he watches Chips and Dish, please let him know that we are always accepting guests of a celebrity status. Jason thinks the Ravens, so he agrees with me, and we move on. Great.
Jason's going to be in the doghouse this week.
Okay.
He buttered me up, and now he's...
All right, we have both picked the Broncos.
Yeah.
Because they're playing the Jets. The Jets were so bad. Zach Wilson almost had as many interceptions as he did completions. That's not good. Wilson is not ready to start in the NFL. Just because he was the number 2 overall pick doesn't mean he should be starting. It's real bad.
Like that other guy who's I want to punch.
Trevor Lawrence.
That guy.
He's more ready than Zach Wilson and his BYU-ness. So this is going to be a rough season for the Jets. Mm-hmm. I think you're talking borderline winless. Maybe they steal one here. But the Broncos are going to do some damage. And you said...
I said the Jets make me think of the Jetsons, and what a disappointment this future has turned out to be.
And JT Realmuto hits one to the warning track.
So, yeah, I guess so. They're
going to lose this game.
They're really sucking tonight,
They're going to wreck my Monday night thing. I'm going to blame Matt Cans because he is not watching. It's the combination. Matt and I need to be on.
I'm here for the Broncos, though. I have a soft spot in my heart for them because of Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning played for the Broncos. Good.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. That's what I'm saying. Where is Matt? Matt
this is
Cans,
his fault.
We're calling you out.
This is Matt's fault.
Yeah, they're going to lose to the Orioles.
The horsey. I know. See?
Those horsies. It's all Matt's fault.
Good. So cute.
So just so we agree that it's not my fault.
No, it's Matt's fault.
It's Matt's fault. So I'm going to leave this comment up again so that I can screenshot this and send it to Matt as we go. Pop fly, sure. Phillies. Oh, my. Oh. Orioles almost Oriole'd all over the place. So there goes my Monday night streak. Thanks to Matt. Cool. A couple more games. We got the Raiders and the Dolphins. Raiders have been really good so far. The Dolphins without Tua, they actually might get better because Tua sucks. But Raiders win this game by a lot.
This hurts my feelings because you know how I feel about their costumes. It bothers me so badly.
Costume mentality. There you go.
Right. But it's working for them. So great. They put on their little shoulder pads and they go run out of the thing and they become somebody else. And that's really good for them. That's awesome. The Dolphins, I love them so much. And I'm waiting for the day that I go like, oh my God, the Dolphins won the Super Bowl. And I hope it happens one day.
No. How about that?
You have to get the shirt, Adam. I'm getting the shirt too.
Okay. Couple more games. Here we go. Bucks and Rams. I got the Bucks. This is the game of the week. I'm saying this right now.
And I agree.
This is the game of the week. Both teams look really, really good. It's going to be high scoring. And I do think that the Bucks win by a few. But this is a game that could be a total toss-up. Mm-hmm. She has the Rams. So this is when we need comments in. Bucks or the Rams. I have the Bucks.
So here's the thing. I don't know if anybody else watches or listens to podcasts other than this one. But you should because they're all great. Now, on I like The Office, and on The Office they do The Office Deep Dive with Brian Baumgartner, who plays Kevin. And within that podcast, they have a separate podcast about the fact that all the guys on The Office still play fantasy football, and they have since they were on the show. And Rainn Wilson was on this morning actually talking about going with the Rams because he thinks that it's their year. And if anybody can convince me that Dwight is a lovable, wonderful character, they can convince me of anything. So I'm going with the Rams.
There you go. So Adam says Rams. Jason says Rams.
Wow.
Chris says Bucks. I'm telling you, this is the game of the
I agree.
week.
But as a total side note, listen to that podcast because it's really good, especially if you like The Office.
Did you listen to podcasts in general? Podcasts?
There's so much content.
I
so
don't
much
listen,
good content.
I don't listen to a lot. I listen to my friends' podcasts because
yes, you do. I listen to a lot of different podcasts because I know on here, like, you know, I have my reasons for pick things because, again, Italian. Get a lot of vibes.
The Phillies had 4 hits against the worst team in baseball.
But, yeah. He said 102 loss.
Yeah.
Orioles.
The Phillies just lost to the 102 loss Orioles. Yep.
But I like to know a lot of information about a lot of different things, and podcasts are good for that.
Gonna flip over to the.
So now we're moving on to the Seahawks and Vikings.
Okay, do you want to introduce this one?
I mean, you're just
I'm just putting
being all crazy.
I'm just putting on the Monday Night Football game.
Chip said that it's going to be another good game, and he thinks that the Seahawks are the better team and will win this one in a battle.
It's going to be a tough game.
I have a much more simpler reason as to why I think the Vikings are going to win this week, and it's because blondes have more fun.
Yo.
And I've been all colors, and I can tell you that this is the one that works the best, especially against something about the Seahawks this year. I don't know. I went for them last week against my better judgment, and I'm not feeling it. I think Sierra, when she wore that outfit at the Met Gala with like his stuff on it, I think it cursed them.
Sure. Okay.
Just look it up.
Well,
it's football related.
Adam has the Seahawks. Jason has the Vikings. We are split as well, so we're going to have to see on that one. All right. Packers and the 49ers. I have the 49ers. And I'm posting this before game 2 for Green Bay because I really need to see what this is going to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, now it's 21-17 Packers, so they're starting to figure it out. This is a tough one. Rodgers has to carry this team. The 49ers can control the ball. They can pass the ball. As long as they don't give Rodgers too many chances on the field, so they maintain that we're going to run the ball mentality, I think the 49ers win this game. And
I do too. Even though I hate their costumes because everybody knows that I do. That red and gold bothers me. But also, we're just going right off the deep end today.
Sure, let's go.
We really are. So I just heard this thing about that 70s show. I don't know if anybody watched it, but you know, it was in Wisconsin. They like the Packers, and that's cool. But there's this like crazy theory about the show and Eric Foreman about how like a tornado took him out in the show, and the whole second half of the show is like a fever dream from him being in a coma, whatever. And it made me feel icky, and I don't like it. So I feel like the Packers are going to lose.
So because of a spiraling out of control
I don't
internet
like it.
theory,
yes,
the Packers will lose.
Yeah. You don't know. I know.
So one of our reasons hopefully is right. And the final.
Could you freaking imagine?
So the final game, and it is Eagles-Cowboys. I pick with reason. She will never pick against the Eagles.
Absolutely not.
Which I respect and love about her.
Yes, 100%.
I am picking the Cowboys to win on Monday night.
And I am not picking the Cowboys because, again, you know who I love.
Right.
I love them.
The Eagles are an incomplete team. The Cowboys have scored a lot of points and played the defending champs down to the wire. This is going to be Dallas's game.
And I feel like
This
just
is
what
like
I
an
just
actual,
said.
This is like an actual football.
This is a real reason. Coming off this past week, it was tough, and especially with the loss of Brandon Graham. But I have a feeling that they're not going to let that happen again. And are we home or away?
We are away.
Okay, that's going to make it a little bit harder. But
that's what she said.
Listen, that couch pulls out, and you're sleeping on it.
But I don't.
So I think that it was. I think that it was a tough one. To be serious in my actual football knowledge,
Right, because you actually have some.
Yes, I do. But I put that aside when I do this because sometimes feelings are right. And when you put too much knowledge into these things, that's why so many people lose, because they're like, oh, I know stats and this person's
analytics,
injured.
man. Analytics suck.
That's it. And this person's injured and this person's this. Like, who gives a shit? Sometimes other people step up and that's how it works. Or another team sucks more. Like, I don't know, but I really think that I hope that the Eagles don't disappoint me, because
I would like the Eagles.
I really want to see them win. And again, I know that if you lose, you will happily lose this.
I would like to be wrong here. I just don't think I am, unfortunately.
And I think you are. By the way, I don't know if anybody else can tell. There's something weird going on with your screen today. Like
mine?
Yeah, it's like everything's shiny. It's not a good vibe that we've got going on here. That might be a little better. But
too much bright light.
I don't know.
I know you just light up a room there, hon.
Yeah, but honestly, they get things right. Who does?
The Eagles.
Thank you. Yes. I mean, I believe it. I feel it. I know it seems like I'm like a flighty person. I'm truly not, but I do also like to go on vibes, because I think that there are more than one way to be right about something.
Absolutely.
And sometimes if you think something first and then you believe that it's going to happen,
you think it into existence.
Yeah. Rather than the action and then going like, oh, see, I knew that they were going to lose. See, I thought, like, no, the thought comes first. Right. So just everybody think about the Eagles winning.
There you go.
And that's what matters.
And there you go. So this has been Chips and Dish here on Monday night, here on All About the Birds and the AAT Sports Network. Yep. We want to thank you for tuning in, commenting, great comments tonight. Make sure you are liking, subscribing, doing all of that good stuff.
And get the shirt.
Get the shirt again.
I'm gonna wear
some
it.
Of the great shirts that are coming out and about right now. These are all available in the shop. You can get any and all of these AAT, all authentic talk in the NWO style. Kenny G and his saxophone.
I love that.
The Hearts on Fire Rocky.
Which is my favorite.
Which Nick Sirianni quoted, and a full pandering move. And of course, Costume Mentality, which is the Chips and Mrs. official.
You need to, because here's the thing. I'm going to go to the West End one day to support everybody, and I need to see the shirts.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, the shirts, Matt Templin's helmets.
Yep.
Let's go.
So lots of great sponsors. We're going to run down this real quick. Actually, let's talk about the weekly lineup of shows first. So this Chips and Dish, we do this every Monday. Mm-hmm. Then on Tuesdays at 10:30, we do Burning Bridges with NFL player Jeremy Bridges, and him just talking all kinds of shit on everybody and everything that comes.
My favorite kind of guy.
10:30. Make sure you're checking that out. Wednesday is the All About the Birds weekly report. To this week, we'll be bringing on a Cowboys podcaster because it's Cowboys week. So we'll see what that happens. Thursday is Across the Pitch, which is our soccer show. Friday is Birds, Beers, and BS, YouTube exclusive. We will not have any shows on Sunday because we play on Monday night. Monday, we would normally be at the West End for away games, but they have a private event. So it'll be just an extended Chips and Dish. We're going to go early next week before the game. We're going to go early next week before the game. So I'll announce start times. I'm going to say probably 7:30, 8 o'clock.
That sounds good.
And we may have to record a session like this afterwards, not for the people. That sounded weird.
Oh my God.
That sounded weird. In case people want to watch.
That's like an OnlyFans. Is that what OnlyFans is? I don't pay attention to bullshit, so I'm not really sure.
Lots of great sponsors. Make sure you're checking them out. Statement Games, fun free twist on fantasy sports. Maybe I should listen. Maybe I should also listen to Mike Bowers and his fantasy rewind that comes out every Monday. Because he actually knows his fantasy shit. So we got to make sure that I pay attention to what he does.
Yes.
So there is that. oddsjam.com. Use the arbitrage calculator to not lose money. 99jersey.com. Use code AATBirds20 for a 20% discount at checkout. La Terrain Luxury Watches. Use the code AATBirds really nice. For 10% discount at checkout. Make sure you are liking and subscribing to the new pages, which have been out now for quite a while. AAT Sports _ That's AAT Sports, all authentic talk. And of course, manscaped.com. Use the code AATBirds20 Sorry, AAT Birds for a 20% discount at checkout and free shipping, of course. Your balls will thank you.
No, that's true. I know every week, like, you get paid to do this.
I do.
But truly, I swear to God, I have never thought that a product was better than that. And more people should buy that. Genuinely, like, especially guys, if you're single and you're starting to date some girls or guys, whatever.
Dudes, if you're married and you're tired of your sacchery.
We notice.
That's a sack that we don't talk about on the show. Prayers up for Brandon Graham.
Isn't that TJ Watt too? Didn't he groin?
Didn't he groin? Is that what you said? Didn't he groin? Did you just turn groin into a verb?
Yeah.
Sure. Great.
Sure.
And then, so we're going to play the commercial a couple more times. I mean, we have the Manscaped commercial. It's the outer space one. And then I'm going to force this one to record the next one.
Can it be Doctor Who theme?
It's whatever they send us. They send us a script.
Do Doctor Who theme.
And
also go watch Doctor Who.
Yes. As Adam says, go Birds is how we end every podcast here. And we also end it by saying we're out of beer. Hold on. So we're out of here. Have a great Monday night. We'll catch you on the flippity flop.
Have a good week.
Peace out.
Attention, listeners across the galaxy, all the way from Australia to Houston. Do we have a pube problem? If so, our friends at Manscaped have cleared you for takeoff with their 4th generation and brand new Lawnmower 4.0. Kick your pubes to the next planet with the Performance Package 4.0. The orbits in your pants will feel like you're in zero gravity when you use the best tools for the job from the leaders in male grooming. Join the 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped and get your rocket ready for takeoff by going to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds. Ready for an out-of-world experience, fellas? Look no further than the Performance Package 4.0 from Manscaped that has just taken off in not only the USA, but Canada, the UK, across Europe, Australia, South Africa, and Singapore. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviver toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your whole solar system. First, scheduled for liftoff, new Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This spaceship is here to guide you on a journey to trim your body, balls, butt, and even Uranus. This 4th generation trimmer also features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. The Lawnmower 4.0 has a 7,000 RPM motor, a new multifunction on-off switch, can engage a travel lock, and is even waterproof. The Lawnmower 4.0 also has a 4000K LED spotlight you can turn on and off when needed for a more precise shave throughout your travels across the universe. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker. It's like having a little astronaut to chop your worst weeds up top in your nose and ear. The Weed Whacker is also waterproof and uses a 9,000 RPM motor-powered 360-degree rotary dual-blade system. This nose and ear hair trimmer provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Don't forget to use Crop Preserver ball deodorant and their Crop Reviver to help your little planets be on their A-game while feeling the sun's heat. Manscaped even threw in 2 free gifts to their Performance Package 4.0, the Manscaped Boxers and the Shed Travel Bag. Abort hairy balls and Buzz Lightyear that Woody with Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code AATBirds at manscaped.com. For a clean trinity and beyond, your Spaceballs will thank you.